Hello, I'm Mike Nesmith, and I'm one of the Monkees. Tonight, as my guest on this wonderful television program, which has done so much for all of you young people out there, I have as my special guest none other than Frank Zappa, that world-famous person, participant in, perhaps even leader of, none other than the Mothers of Invention. And here he is. Love you, Frank Zappa.
Hi, kids. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
It's really a pleasure to be here.
It is? They have a lot of zany stuff on this program, don't you think? Well, tell me, Frank.
Tell you what, Mike.
No, you're supposed to talk like Frank. This is one of our cute numbers for the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be you, and you're supposed to be me, right?
You see the way we work this out in advance?
It keeps falling off. Okay, go ahead. Ask me a
When you
question.
first got into the psychedelic music business, was it very difficult? I know that you used to work in Hollywood a lot.
Well, it was more of a come on, guys, let's go kind of situation.
Come on, guys. That's like the Beach Boys.
A lot of that. We did a lot of that.
You know that after I quit the show, I'm going to join the Birds, don't you?
No, I didn't know that.
When you quit the Mothers, who are you going to join?
I may join the Birds, too. I wanted to get into a very serious area that, of course, appeals to me as Frank Zappa, sometimes thought of as creative genius, especially in the area concerning your Monkees music, which appears to me to be banal and insipid, you know?
You think that our music, the Monkees' music, is banal and insipid?
Well, words like that are hard to read, especially side by side.
Have you ever tried reading Mike and Frank?
I wanted to know where the soul of your music was. Is it on the 1 and the 7? Or is it on the 1 and the 5?
The soul of your music is on the 1 and the 7, sometimes on the 3 and the 5. The soul of our music, the Monkees' music, lies somewhere in between the 1.5, the 2.5, the 3 3/4, and the giant C major chord on the piano, which I'll demonstrate for you. We have wonderful music. Match cut. Here we go. We turn over and we all take our positions in front of the camera because this is the Monkees and we're really tricky. Tell me, Frank Zappa, I've always wanted to have you show me how to conduct because I heard you were really spiffy at it.
Will you follow me? That's
Come on,
where
you're
we
on
go.
television. I'm just one of these unpopular musicians.
No,
Teach me.
It's the other way around. You're a popular musician. I'm dirty, gross, and ugly. Well, I'll tell you, Mike, before we get too involved with the piano, let's whipple over to the car, and I'll teach you how to play a car. Watch this. Let me take a minute to tell you who I am, but it doesn't show me.
say that your technique has changed essentially, say, since 1932?
I don't think so, no. I think, you know, the cobbler should stick to his last. Know your own limitations.
Well,
Now, I've become a specialist. People expect it, you know. If I did a story, we'll say, a musical about Cinderella, they would be waiting for the body to turn up if my name were on the picture. You know, the audiences are still looking for the body, you see.
Most of your films have had a sort of strong dose of peril in them for the characters. Why have you made this your speciality right from the very beginning, I believe?
I think it's probably because I'm a very nervous fellow, you know, and we all have fear, you know, in us, and we like to enjoy a vicarious, shall we say, toe in the water of fear. I think audiences like to feel a little touch of fear. After all, they go on a roller coaster and scream. They are very near the dangerous point. If the roller coaster didn't take that curve so easily and went right over the top, that would be the end of that. You know, I once made the error of putting suspense into a picture and not relieving it. I did a picture called Sabotage, I beg your pardon. And I had a small boy carrying a bomb across London. And I built up the time element of when the bomb was to go off. And I even went past the time when the bomb should go off. And eventually I let the bomb go off 2 minutes after it should have gone off, and blew the boy and everybody else to bits. And this was the most horrifying experience, especially for women in the audience. I was never forgiven for it.
You mentioned relieving the suspense, and I think one of the marks of your films is the wry touches of humor that you inject to relieve.
Well, yes, I believe, you know, after all, there's humor in a graveyard, why not? Which reminds me of a story. I think it was a famous comedian, Harry Tate, English comedian, died.
Oh, yes.
And was being buried, and at the graveside were all his fellow comedians, including one very old man named Charles Coburn, and a rather brash young comedian, just as the coffin was being lowered into the grave, leaned over to him and said, "How old are you, Charlie?" And this old comedian said, "Oh," he said, "I'm 89. And the young one said, "Hardly seems worthwhile going home." I think the British have a sense of humor, especially about the macabre. And I think a lot of people, you know, object to playing around with bodies and so forth. But actually, I don't think it really matters, you know. And sometimes people can't help, especially certain types of English people, can't help but make a joke, whether it's for their own relief or what. I remember at a fairground once outside London, there was a sideshow going on in a tent where a man was biting the heads from live rats. And there were two women, blousy sort of women, at the back of the tent, watching this thing with fascination, but with clenched teeth and horror. But one of them couldn't help make a joke. She had to call out. She says, "Don't you want any bread with it?"
You haven't put that in any of your films yet, sir.
Not yet, no. There's room for it.
Oh, come on, Eddie. You promised me you'd bring me some.
And I did. I've got it right here. Promise her anything, but give her Synth Coke. Is it snow, or is it Synth Coke? Only a wallet knows for sure. Synth Coke is available at adult bookstores and boutiques throughout Manhattan. Or send $9.95 to Buzz Productions, P.O. Box 446, Kittery, Maine, 03904. Remember, allow 2 weeks delivery on personal checks. Money orders are shipped the same day.
The Many Wonderful Faces of Bill Sacre.
Dinner's almost ready.
Oh, jeez. Stifled
have to sit here reading the paper. By the way, while you're up, how about getting me a cold beer, huh? Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
And you knew what you wanted.
Hey, Ralph, where did you get that fancy Rolex watch? Norton, old friend, old pal, old buddy? I am selling crack.
To introduce you to Kendall.
Hey, what are you doing? Get off your tush and do something. Hey, Clem, I got an idea. Instead of just watching TV, why not become a part of it, huh? Hey, I know the perfect place. KYRK 35 Alive. Ugh. And you can have any kind of show you want. That's right. Only $100 per half hour. Yeah, nice. But no vulgarity. So get going. Speed down to get your time slot booked. Whoa, but not too fast. So you two can have your very own TV show for only $100. That's right. Here, at KYRK Channel 35 Alive. Give me that. Call this number now.